Hi Waylon, thank you for your application to be a media competitor at the 2026 Red Bull Romaniacs Unstoppable Edition 23. Only a small number of riders received permission to use an onboard camera. Good news, you're approved. I just got the news last night, so that's made my day. I've been waiting for the approval since mid-December is when I first applied for it, and did a couple of follow-ups with emails and a few steps here and there you have to take. But yeah, I did it. So yeah, good news. So I feel very lucky. When you apply, it says they only accept 10. I'm thinking they probably accept maybe a little bit more. When I first submitted, things were promising because they did like the idea of getting a perspective from the bronze level. You know, we all see the pros, but it's not much you get to see from other classes in the race. So there's 519 total riders that are publicly shown that are racing right now. So man, I feel very lucky and fortunate, just an honored to be able to video the race. With that said, I'll talk a little bit about who's going to be there with me. So we have 11 total U.S. competitors going. We only have one member in the gold class, and that's Tobin Miller, bib number 19. We don't have any in the silver class. The bronze class, we have Dimitri, John, myself. There's a father and son duo, or they could possibly be brothers, I'm not sure. I think a couple of other people. I'm only mentioning names that I've been in contact with, and we kind of have like a little group chat going on. In the iron class, we have Matt Adams, two others. I think I tried to reach out to them initially, and they're on their own agenda, and I don't blame them, you know, doing their thing. Didn't see any in the Atom class, and I didn't check the Adventure class or E-Moto classes to see if we have any U.S. competitors. Oh yeah, I did. I know there's only 11 total. So yeah, some of the past participants, they're also in the chat with us, but they're not going, but they've been super helpful. One being Bill Slemensky. He's 9-time Red Bull Romaniacs competitor. This is his first year he's missing. He did 9 straight, I think his first year. He was 59 when he competed, and he's done the silver and the bronze class. And I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure he's finished every year and did well in a few years too. Clayton Millsap, he's helped as well. He's been twice. Unfortunately, he can't make it this year. He's going to be there with us in spirit. He's still with us and giving us tips that he learned as well. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. I'll mention more people as I go. I did want to say, like, Tobin Miller, he's like our best rider for the U.S. I've been talking to him a little bit. He's been trying to do a little bit more social media on Facebook and Instagram, but he's been over there a week already training. He just had a little bit of food poisoning. I guess he's good now. Yeah, he said he's gonna try to put more stuff on Facebook and Instagram as well. Just follow along with him. So, with that said, I'm gonna do this without any edits. It's gonna be a long video. Where are we at? So, I wanted to start off a little bit with off subject. This is Romaniacs update, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the race I just did past Sunday. So let's see here. So I first started riding dirt bikes in 2021. 5 months after a 6-stage vertebrae fusion, and 7 months after was when I first started racing dirt off-roads. And one of the things I used to, man, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of a troll on Facebook in my sport bike days. I thought that even bad publicity was still publicity. You know, in person, everybody would tell you I'm completely different. A little off subject, but one of the things that I would troll about, which is kind of a true statement, is, you know, on street bikes, anyone can go fast in a straight line. You're throwing some turns, and then you can see, you know, who has some skill. Used to say it all the time. And then when I switched to dirt bikes, I made one post, something similar statement. You know, anyone can go fast, but not everyone can ride the gnarly, you know, the slow technical stuff. And after this past Sunday's Blackberry ISDE up in McCleary, Washington State, with Cascade Family Motorcycle Club, part of the Northwest Association NWA series. I thought it was gonna be easy. Thought it was gonna be easy. I did it last year on the 4-stroke. You know, I signed up for amateur 30-year-old class. You know, I'm 40. I was 46 last year. 47 now. I finished it. I don't remember where I finished. I didn't video it or anything. I was having GoPro problems. So this year I signed up for expert 30-year-old class, and yeah, I thought it was gonna be easy because I was on 2-stroke this year. So this goes back to what I've said. Not everyone can go fast. So I realized real quick that I was trying to go fast. For one, trying to stay out of other riders' way. I'm not going to slow anybody down. So to go fast, man, it just takes so much focus for such long periods of time. And then you'll pop out on these little forest roads, and your mind starts to wander, and you just start daydreaming. You might miss a turn or whatever. It's just hard to maintain that serious and extreme amount of focus for that long period of time. And let's see, so I added to that. I wrote some stuff down. Forgive me, I got to read it because my memory's horrible. I'm pretty good with words and coming up with stuff. It takes me a long time to find the right words, but so this is what I came up with. I said, going fast is difficult because there simply isn't enough time to consciously think about everything. You have so many thought processes, and to go fast, they have to become instinctive. You know, reading the terrain, recognizing obstacles, and knowing the appropriate response without hesitation. And once those fundamentals happen automatically, your mind is free to focus on higher level decisions, such as choosing an alternate line for a pass or deciding when to make the move, where to do it, how to execute it safely. The same applies for self-awareness. Instead of waiting until you're thirsty, the fast riders, they build habits around predetermined cues. You know, they'll take a drink of water at the beginning of a straightaway, possibly at the bottom of a downhill, immediately after crossing a forest road. I should say as they're crossing a forest road. Lost track where I was at. Let's see here. Or just like another consistent landmark. You know, if you're doing laps, you know, like this certain spot every lap, I'm gonna drink water here. So, you know, you reduce the mental workload and free your brain to focus on riding faster and making better decisions. You know, like if you can do all these things, or the more things you can do instinctual, you can only do so many thought processes. So then you could focus on passing. You know, that's a big one. Anyway, you get the gist of it. I pretty much put all that in there. I can't go fast because, for one, well, it's not safe for me to do so anyway. I don't like going fast, but new terrain. You know, it's kind of new. I have to fill out available grip. You know, what's this gonna be like? What's this gonna be like? How do I hit that root? How do I hit that tree? Whereas these guys, they've been riding this terrain a lot, so they know how to do all this stuff, so they can think about other things. They can look farther ahead, change gears more often. They know what gear they want to be in here, there, for this corner, for that uphill, for that downhill. All these stuff comes kind of natural, and it's still kind of a learning process for me. So yeah, not everyone can go fast. Like, it's a time-consuming process. You learn over time. With that said, my learning curve when I started in the sport bike world 6 years ago, which is funny because I've been riding serious sport bikes 6 years, and now it's kind of like the anniversary. I've been riding off-road serious for 6 years. I've been riding my whole life, but serious 6 years, sport bikes 6 years, dirt bikes. My sport bike learning curve is through the roof, quick. Got fast, quick. With that, it's not necessarily a good thing because you miss out on little small details that'll keep you safe. And one being was, I never thought about passing. I know it sounds crazy, but I'd catch up on somebody and just pass. It wouldn't be planned, and it bit me. 2014, broke 7 ribs, right side scapula. Somebody crashed in front of me, and inside of a turn, they lost the rear, slid, clipped me. So the point being, like, I learned fast street riding, and then when I got hurt, when I learned a lot about all the little details to keep you safe. Reading books, and it sounds funny, but it's 2014 when it happened, so all that stuff wasn't around back then. All this other ways of learning, I guess. But with this dirt bike stuff, it's had to be slow. Oh my goodness. Okay, I've been recording. Just want to make sure. I forgot to hit the start button. With this dirt bike stuff, it's been a slow, gradual curve because I can't just send it. It's got to be slow and controlled. You got Toby Miller sending me a message right now if you hear the clicks. But yeah, I'm getting there. Just slowly, little at a time. Getting better, learning a little bit with each and every race. And I will say, not everyone can go fast. You learn over time, and some people just will never. They'll plateau, and that's it. They'll just enjoy the ride, and that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm enjoying the ride, man. I don't take for granted. I don't take for granted being able to still ride. So, got that part over. Back to the race. Pacific Northwest has got some talent. So when I first started the dirt road thing, me and Maria, we lived in Arizona for almost 3 years. And that's when I first started riding and racing in the desert, racing in the Amherst series. So I got to see Marshall's dad, Max Gersten, a lot in some of the races, and he'd be lapping me. I got to see what fast was. And then also one race, Shady Burrow in Colorado, which was in the first year I was racing. Same thing, like, I think it was halfway through the race, and I saw Max at one point come around me and like, good God, man, I got to see what fast was. Well, this past weekend, I got to see what fast was again. I was in the expert class, I'm not saying I thought I was fast, but because I entered it because I wanted to see if I could learn from them. I don't want to get. Yeah, y'all know how it is. You can learn from better, faster riders. But I thought I was kind of fast, until I got to see what fast was again. Man, I felt like I was back in the novice class, and Max Gersten clones passing me left and right. So it was a good experience. Granted, I couldn't latch on to anybody to really learn that much. Up my pace a little bit, have somebody out front doing a lot of the thinking for me to see if I can carry the pace. Like, no, there was no chance. I'd pull completely over, and a lot of times be at a complete stop, and I wasn't trying to go wide open, trying to catch them real quick and latch on, and yeah, once they'd be out of sight in a couple of minutes. So there's good things about that did help me, and it's what I used to preach with the sport bike riders as well. the fact that they were so fast and I wasn't able to latch on, I had to do all the thinking for myself, you know, like I was always out front, running my pace, having to do all the thinking, or trying to read the terrain, and use the right amount of input and take the right actions to when needed on the bike. So yeah, it was good. Like I had to do all the thinking for myself, and it's kind of what I really needed, because in Romaniacs, I have a pretty good feeling I'm going to be out by myself a lot. I mean, there's 500 riders, but you know, we don't all start at the same time, and yeah, I feel like we're going to be pretty staggered out. Each day is going to be over 100 miles long. Each day it's going to supposedly probably get a little bit longer. I don't know what the max mileage would be, maybe 130 miles, I don't know, but it's always 25 to 28,000 feet total elevation gain, which I have yet to do. I think the most I've done in one day is 23, 24, and that was in SoCal elevation gain. I think it was about a 60-mile ride, something like that. So yeah, that's that. Pacific Northwest has some talent, and I got to see a little bit of it. So with that said, I made 13 clips total of those riders on my Facebook here lately. You know, minute and a half clips of just it's clips of riders for the riders. That's how I've always been. It's been on the same way on sport bikes. I do it on dirt bikes with occasional what I call superstar moments. I'll post those so I can look back on them, you know. So apparently there were a good bit of DNFs, did not finishes, in that Black Bear ISD, and it's understandable. The terrain, it wasn't like hard enduro, but it was a long day. I cleaned all my gear yesterday, and that's when I found out I did drink 3 liters of Element that contained 4 packs of the Element in it, and my 3 liters of water, I drank like 7/8. Like I only had like about that much left in the bottom of my second 3 liters of strictly water. So I drank a lot, and even then I still started getting cramps in my left hip flexor right before the end, and I've been training for this. You know, hot yoga, I think, was like 7 days straight. Anyway, I've been training for it, for the heat and everything. So yeah, I started cramping, and I had all that liquor. So it's understandable. Like some of the people didn't finish for various reasons. So yeah, I started cramping. Oh, I did lots of gear changes, like more than I've ever done on a dirt bike. There's a lot of gear changes to 4th and 5th gear, back down to 4th. 2nd every now and then for some of the hill climbs. If I had a little stutter or hiccup, I run a 12-50 gear ratio. That's what Billy Bolt and all the top guys run for Romaniacs, and I've been running that ever since I got the 2-stroke a couple of weeks before the first King of Moto's US Hard Enduro race this year. So that's why I 4th and 5th a lot. I don't want you to think I'm fast, because I'm not. I'm by no means fast. I consider myself a capable rider. I don't make a lot of mistakes. I just go. I don't know if you saw, I did make one good mistake during that race. I hit a damn tree head on. Tapped one tree to the left bar or right bar. Or anyway, went right, hit another tree head on. But other than that, I don't think I know I dropped the bike at least one time. This is like slow tip over or something. I had a lot of superstar moments. I had a good challenging transfer stage for the long course riders. They had a bunch of trees, and just before I got to that section, my GoPro battery died, and I felt like I was already running late, and come to find out I was 1 minute late. But I didn't want to stop and change my GoPro battery. But man, like I had some good moments. I had some big trees. It's Pacific Northwest, and I jumped them. I mean, I know I look like a pro. Like feet on the pegs, I didn't let off the throttle until rear tire was over the tree. You know, sometimes you want to chop the throttle after you get the front tire over, and then you teeter-tottering on the tree. But no, I had a pretty good couple of superstar moments. And I made it a point where I was thinking mentally afterwards, I was like, okay, the second lap, I'm not going to record in this section, or I'm going to make sure I get a fresh battery in and be ready for this section again. But I didn't make it. I hit that tree head on, and it broke my GoPro mount, so I didn't get it. But I got a lot of riders, so that made me happy. Just didn't get my usual at least 1 or 2 superstar moments, but I had a pretty good amount. All right, enough to toot my own whistle here. Let's see here. I did let's see, lesson learned vid. Yeah, I did a lesson learned vid afterwards. You can see, scroll on the Facebook page, you can see it. It's the first time I ever did one of those after the race. But clearly you can see that sometimes what I was saying, it didn't make sense because I was exhausted. And I did the lessons learned, not more so for myself, because I remember the lessons learned. They don't go away. The next time the situation comes about, like, I know what to do. I learned it. But I wish I would have done lesson learns to remember, so I could share them with other riders, because everything's fresh, and it is a lot of stuff that accumulates each and every ride, different area, different trail, following different pace type people. You learn so much. I will say the club, they made hot dogs afterwards. They did the same thing last year. I haven't seen that anywhere else. I want to say somebody else did it, another club, another state, another series, but I can't remember who. But one thing they should have done was put a tip jar up there, or a donation jar. And I asked them, and they said, no, we do this. We do this. I mean, it's just what we do. And man, I ate 5 hot dogs afterwards. And after that, I got my energy back, started talking a little bit. Started making a little bit more sense when I was talking after them hot dogs. So, enough about that race. I don't know how it's done yet. We're supposed to get results today. I'll do a separate video about the results. It's something for me to look back on, share as well. So, Romaniacs, I ordered some athletic tape because I realized in this past race that my neck brace, it was because there were so many turns, I was having to turn, and it was giving me a blister. So I got some athletic tape that was recommended. I use ChatGPT a lot for recommendations on stuff, and so I got that. So I should be able to, when I'm in Romaniacs, I shouldn't have to worry about hot spots too much. I'm gonna carry that tape on me. It's not exactly athletic tape like you're thinking of, like to, well, anybody that's used athletic tape, you know what it's for, but it's not 100% for that. It's just super sticky, and it's going to be to help me not get blisters or cover up hot spots. Tape on fingers, possibly. So I got that ordered. That arrived yesterday. Had to order some with the approval of the GoPro Red Bull media competitor. I had to order some more GoPro mounts because I need to put one on the rental bike when I get there, and ordered a couple of spares just in case I break. Like, there's some super steep, long, supposedly the longest downhills most people have ever ridden. Like, so long that the brake fluid starts boiling. So I'm sure at some point, if it rains, which they say it rains every afternoon, I'm gonna fall at least once, and the front might knock off the GoPro. So I got some new GoPro mounts to take with me. I guess I should thank my credit card. A lot of people don't know, like, this race has cost it's cost $10,000, so I've had to use my credit card a lot. With that, I'm trying not to worry about it because it's a once in a life opportunity. another reason I'm so happy that I can video it and relive it. But I got some new boots, got top of the line, thanks to credit card. I think it's the top Garnier SG22s. I bought them, and I think the next day Tobin made a post. I don't know if Slavens supplied him with a pair, which would be pretty cool if they did. But yes, so kind of cool. We got the same boots. Won't ride at the same level, but yeah. Besides the point. When I did the King of Motos, I should say we, you know, other riders. When I did the King of Motos Moto Madness, which is an event 2 weeks before King of Motos. It's held by Justin and Fred. It's like a, I don't want to say training, but it gets new riders prepared for the terrain. They all, oh, that's where it was. It was a free event, and they had hot dogs and hamburgers and all that stuff. They let you stay overnight on the property and camp. But they also, at the end of it, Fast House supplied gift cards, and there was all kinds of other vendors that supplied free items for everybody. They raffled off at the end. But everybody got a Fast House card. I think it gave us 50% off of an order, like one item. So I used mine yesterday. I got a really fancy fancy gear set for the Prologue. White and black, that's my thing. I'm trying to stay cool. So I got as much white as I can get. You know, white neck brace, white shirt, white pants. My boots, they won't be white, but I would have got them if they had them. So yeah, I should be receiving that today. A gear bag. Man, my gear bag's a big old yellow Tupperware container, that you buy from Walmart. And I knew I needed one for the race, and I wanted top of the line, but it just wasn't in the cards. So Bill, he recommended me a Walmart bag. He said he's probably bought 5 or 6 of them. He goes, he'd go over there for like 2-3 months. So I ordered it, and oddly enough, like an hour or two later, they canceled my order. And I went up there, I think the second day, or the next day, I went up there and asked them why it got canceled. And they said, oh, we didn't get any in until like the next day or whatever. I don't know. I went to Walmart like a couple of days after I tried to order. So they canceled my order because they didn't have any. But that is what they told me on the email. But oddly enough, the minute I got the email saying my order for the gear bag was canceled, Project Enduro for Vets had offered to supply me a bag, like through the through donations. So even still, like, I got the top of the line. Again, went through ChatGPT. I wanted the top of the line, which was USWE, the USWE bag, 150 liter. He was getting me to order through Rocky Mountain ATV. They didn't have it, so I got the second best. Thanks to Alpine Stars, can't remember. They canceled his order, so he ended up buying it through Amazon, and it should be in today. Project Enduro ordered it through Amazon. Should be in today. Travis from TVT Racing, he saw my post and he was going to give me a bag because he's up here too. And he asked the address. He was going to mail it to me, and I told him I was already good to go. So, I had to order 4 mini SD cards because that's one of the requirements. You need 4 cards to be the Red Bull media competitor. You know, you turn them in every day at the end of the race. So, man, that was $400 alone for that. Thank you, credit card. I had to order. It's supposed to be in today. Yeah, right now, actually. more GoPro batteries. I ordered them a couple of days ago for the GoPro. Project Enduro bike graphics arrived yesterday. Excited about them. Like, I just opened the box. I didn't unravel them or anything. I just opened the box and added some more things to the box so they'd be packaged even a little bit more safely, I guess. I don't want them to get messed up. Let's see. Kind of anxious for the gear bag to show up. As I fly out Tuesday, I'm anxious to start packing. I'm gonna be there for 3 weeks. Everybody recommends to be there a week early. Before you acclimate to the jet lag. Time difference, I think, is 10 hours if I'm not mistaken. And then also the altitude, which isn't that extreme. We'll be racing, I think, in between 3,000 and 5,000 feet most of the time. I think the highest it gets up to is possibly 7,500, if I remember correctly. So yeah, and then I'll be there a week after the race because I guess a lot of people fly out of Cebu, Romania, directly. You know, that's where the race starts. They just don't have any flights out, so I've got time, so it's not a big deal. So I'll be there for 3 weeks. Pack a lot of stuff. I want to get started now as soon as possible because Maria's got us rafting tomorrow, which is pretty cool. I can't wait to go rafting. Me and her just kind of get my mind off all this stuff because, yeah, I worry myself to death. It's just what I do. It's kind of, I think it's a Coast Guard thing, really. Like their whole motto is "Semper Paratus," you know, always ready. So you're always thinking about the what ifs. So at least I can go rafting, take my mind off that. And then she planned a strenuous hike for us. I think roughly probably 10 miles, 4,000 elevation gain. Similar to Mount Washington in New Hampshire. Those are that kind of specs. Let's see. That's all I got. I have a lot of people to thank. I don't know. They would do a whole thanking video one day. But that's that. I'm gonna go ahead and post this, get that out there, and probably come back with something Saturday or Sunday, another video update. Probably go over what I'm packing, how I'm packing the bag. I've seen others do that. Big Iron, I think it's Big Iron TV. He's a Canadian. He did a really good video, educational, prepping for Romaniacs as well. I'll never be as thorough as some of these guys that are prepping, man. They got spreadsheets. I got my chicken scratch stuff, you know. Granted, this was for the video, but I have notes. But these guys go all out and hardcore, and I don't blame them. They're trying to do the same thing I'm doing to prepare themselves, set themselves up for success. I feel like, you know, some people go over above and beyond, but I completely understand that too. You know, like I have rituals and routines that I want to do before the race, possibly during the race. So I understand why they do what they do, and I'm glad people are willing to share this stuff, man, because it's a lot of money, it's a lot of time, training, and all that stuff. And if you're like me, in which I know I can't be the only one, like this is gonna be a once in a lifetime opportunity. So you want it to be successful. Not to throw Clayton Millsap out, but he might have the record for the quickest DQ. Like, he hurt himself on the first obstacle at the prologue, broke his elbow in 2 places. Might have been 3, you know. So thankfully he was able to go back and get some redemption and finish that mother. So good job, Clayton. So, all right, catch y'all next one. follow Tobin. He's been posting stuff on social media, and I'll be doing the same. All right, later.